that's so central in this campaign. You know, I think about the fact that just today, when he was voting, he was asked by another reporter about what he thought one of the most important moments of his campaign was. And he mentioned Joe Rogan, the podcaster.
I tried to stay away from it all day today. They're currently talking about the bro vote among the Republican Party and how there is a strong insurgence of young men supporting the Republican Party.
I think we're seeing it reflected in the states he's putting together.
That right there is the state that my television normally is in, 44 seconds on the timer. Because I have to tune out. I have to tune out from other people's stuff. Right after I did the last message, because there's another reading that happened earlier today, about a couple hours ago actually. I was in my living room and I had checked the election briefly then, and while I was watching it, I passed out. I literally was only watching it for maybe like 2 minutes, just enough to see that it was at that point in time a 50-50. It was basically dead on. It was 50-50. And the polls were just starting to close, I do believe, over in the Sun Belt, over that direction. At this point in time, they were going through the fact that Trump had the majority of the states and that Kamala had the northern states, the blue line, and they were going through all of the many ways that both sides would have to go. And my cats are fighting in the background, and it's 2:22 on the timer. And if that isn't any indication, because let me tell you, I am picking up on the energy already. I woke up from a nap feeling exhausted, and I immediately turned on the television to see that, in fact, and I'm going to call it. It hasn't been called, but this is Hillary Clinton all over again, guys. And I actually messaged my friend before I passed out. And I said, I'm checking in on politics. It's not looking so great here. It's giving me Hillary all over again. So here we are. And it kind of makes sense with the repeating numbers in my last video. I kept catching the time at repeating numbers like 12-12, 27-27. It was repeating numbers, and back then it didn't make any sense, but I guess it has to tie into this election when it comes down to it now. I'm calling it ahead of time. Donald Trump's gonna be the president again. 3:33 on the timer, Ascendant Masters. So this may be a time where you're gonna have to really rely on a spirit team. For some of us, we're really gonna have to rely on a spirit team, because we're gonna have to do a lot of introspection on our part to find a commonality with how aggressively arrogant shit is about to be. I'm telling you. And I'm not coming from any place like being like, oh, I'm a Democrat, blah, 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 blah. Because truth be told, I'm not a Democrat either. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I don't choose to label myself as any party, because once again, it's another label that society tries to make us put on ourselves to be divisive. In most cases, when it comes down to politics, people don't even pay attention to the issues. They pay attention who is backed by who. I'm telling you, go out and talk to the average person about politics and what's going on, and they have no clue. It's just like the same thing as choosing between Pepsi and Coke. Which one do you prefer? Which one was the predominant drink that was in your household growing up, chances are that's the drink that you're probably still drinking. If you grew up in a Pepsi household, you're probably drinking Pepsi products right now. If you grew up in a Coca-Cola household, you're probably drinking Coca-Cola products right now. So with me talking enough about politics, when I started collecting the information and feeling the energy, I knew immediately, at least for myself. So I knew if I was feeling this way, that it was probably going to be something that other people needed as well. A message needed to be done. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to need some direction going forward. So I feel like the collective of like-minded people like me are going to need a message moving forward. So that's what this message is going to be about. And I can tell you right now, my animals are also a very, very good indication of energy. And they are very, very active, very stir crazy, and not in a good way. They're in that energy that where with me, when they are in this energy, they get annoying to me. It's not an energy of me feeling like, oh, they just want love and affection. It's an energy of almost possessiveness on their part to invade my space because that's what they want. So then it becomes annoying to me because they don't get that. And that's my cat right there. She's knocking, the one that I just kept moving. She's knocking up against the pole right now that is holding the camera. And this is what I'm talking about. This is the energy that my animals are very good about letting me know is out and about. So I'm definitely going to have to do a reading because there is a lot of this energy that I feel, that I have already witnessed, and that my animals are projecting out at this time. So I'm going to start with my trusty deck. I have been talking for a while, but that's what I do now. You know, usually the first half of my stuff is talking. So if you are a person that chooses to follow me in the future, probably chances are I will have a channel of how the energies and stuff that I've been picking up on first before I go into a reading. And I can tell you, there's already a card up. I don't know why there's only one. Once again, that noise in the background, that's my cats. The energy, like I said, another one. Turn, confirmation, protection, and luck. I can already tell for myself that I am going to have to be extremely protective, 1818, of my energy, because I can feel the irritable energy. When my animals get like this, I get irritated. But at the same time, 838. But at the same time, I try my best to have understanding for them until they have pushed me so far that I'm just like, no, I can't do this anymore. And I feel like that's what the energy is going to be like today. It's going to be a lot of energy where some of us are going to continually be put in situations throughout the day where we're just going to have to like learn how to transmute the energy that is being put out into the world, because we're not going to be able to escape it today. The more you try to escape it and the more you try to resist it, the more it's going to irritate you. So be mindful of the fact that you are irritated. Have the self-awareness to realize that you were irritated, and then get to the root of why you're irritated. In my case, I'm irritated because I'm left in a state, once again, of trying to analyze and understand I guess, the majority of population's viewpoints, and why and why they have chosen to basically put America through another cycle. 10 on the timer. That's the number of completion. So, unfortunately for me, in my case, as much as I am doing the work to change my reality and my future, America has chosen to repeat a cycle. So, that's maybe where luck comes into play. We're gonna need some luck. Not just individually, but as a society, we're gonna have, to find some luck. So I'm gonna read angel numbers for them, and then I'm gonna pull a couple of more cards. Like, as you can keep hearing in the background, my cats are overly active and they are fighting each other. That is probably what's going to be going on today amongst people. 11:11 on the timer. Instant manifestation of your thoughts. Be mindful of your thoughts. And that's why I'm saying be careful who you're around today and who you're engaging with, because there is definitely going to be, like I was showing at the beginning of this, there is definitely going to be a bro-ness about today. There's going to be a lot of inflated ego. There's going to be a lot of peacocking and chest pumping and grandioso behavior, narcissistic grandioso behavior today. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and protection number 9, light workers get to work now. So, get to work maybe on what you need to do to protect yourself and your energy. Get to work. If things like today and the election, or things in your life have shifted and moved around and it's not what you want, the results turned up and they were not what you want, then maybe you need to get to work now about thinking about what you need to adjust for the next phase of your life to try again to accommodate to the reality. And I use that quote very loosely at this point in time. The reality of what is happening in this world right now, because there is also a split in consciousness right now where people are we're simultaneously living together, but some of us are not living on the same plane as each other. Meaning some people that are in ascension and live in a spiritual world are in different dimensions. Some people are still in the physical 3D plane completely, meaning like this 3D reality of vibration that we're on, this state of energy, like mass, if you want to go into quantum physics and science and stuff like that, like the solid world that is vibrating on a lower frequency, therefore that makes the stuff solid. High frequency vibrates at energy. That's why you don't see it. So the ones of us that are vibrating on a higher frequency, therefore on a higher plane of life, but here on this lower frequency, solid everyday existence, for right now it's still very much going through a repeated cycle. So you're gonna have to get to work now with adjusting 1414, with realizing that the world, despite what you're going through, has chosen to go through another cycle, to repeat another cycle. So protect yourself. Luck. And I'm definitely gonna go ahead and pull another card, because personally right now I'm not feeling very lucky. 1444. I'm trying to see That's what I'm definitely going to have to do, reflection on my part, to once again put myself in a position of trying to understand other people that aren't trying to understand me, or trying to understand the things that are important to me, I guess, or the people. Trust. Again, had this card earlier today, so I guess it's like that you may have luck moving forward into the future, but you're just gonna have to trust in spite of what your eyes, your ears, your reality is showing you right now in this moment. You're gonna have to still keep the faith, and you're still gonna have to trust that what is meant for you individually, despite what is happening around you, outside of you, because that is also something that I have been stressing, is looking for answers within yourself and not outside of you. 15:55 on the timer. So maybe just trusting in yourself and what's going on inside of you, and still allowing the world just to be what it's gonna be. Because I'm gonna tell you what, that's exactly where I'm gonna need to be for the next 4 years. Since we've obviously over here chosen to follow a me mentality. Yes, I'm still gonna live very much from a place of what I've been doing, strength, but at the same time, I'm gonna be very focused on myself for the next 4 years, because if I don't, it's gonna be a hard time. So that's where strength comes in. Definitely for myself, and probably a lot of you, we're gonna have to find the strength. We are gonna have to find the inner strength and the inner knowing to be able to trust the situation, to be able to trust ourselves, because we believe that we're strong enough now, given the things that we've been through. I'll do the angel numbers now. For luck, the angel number is 31, which singles down to 4, which means the angels. So the angels are here. This might be a time where you really need to lean on them. 17:17 on the timer. Once again, repeating numbers theme, repeating cycles. But that doesn't mean that you individually have to repeat a cycle. It just means that the outside world right now is repeating it. 31. And I flipped right to the page. How about that? Wouldn't that be luck? I'm trying to make light of things. I'm really trying to shift my mood. I am actively, you guys are seeing in real time, I am actively trying to find the silver lining, or the bright view of what's happened. So 31. The Ascendant Masters ask you to look past all the earthly illusions and see the divine perfection within you, others, and your current situation. As you see divine perfection in your mind, it manifests externally in your relationships, your career, your health, and your other life areas. So, I mean, that's basically what I just said, wrapped up in a nutshell within one number. You gotta look past what's happening outside of you, the illusion of everything that's happening outside of you. And you need to find the perfection in your mind, because your mind manifests your reality. So the outside may seem one way, but internally you can make your reality be a completely different thing if you trust in the divine process, if you trust in divine timing, that everything happens for a reason and everything will work out as it should for your individual situation, regardless of what is happening outside of you. 21, which singles down to 3. The Ascendant Masters are 3. So trust that the Ascendant Masters and the angels are there to help and guide the situation. 21, your optimism is definitely warranted. The angels are working behind the scenes on your behalf right this very minute. You can help support the angels' work by saying positive affirmations and believing that your dream is already manifesting. So, once again, focusing on yourself and believing that what you want and what you desire is possible. Strength is 19, which singles down to 10 and 1. I am at 19 now. This is a message for you to believe in yourself and your life purpose. The angels want you to know that you're qualified and ready to follow your dreams. Stay positive and take action without delay. 10. God wants you to hold positive thoughts about this situation as everything is working out for your highest good. Call upon God to help you stay optimistic as your thoughts are an influencing factor in the outcome. 1. Stay positive. Everything you're thinking about right now is coming true. So be sure that you're only thinking about what you desire. Give any fears to God and the angels. So be mindful. Be very, very mindful moving into the future about your thoughts. Once again, focus on yourself. I think I'm going to try to pull from a different deck now and see what it has to say. Let's try the Moonology deck. So, how's everybody been doing today? 2121, like I said, repeating exterior cycles. Yeah, check in with me. Let me know what's been going on. A new start is coming. So a new start for you in some aspect of your life. What does that new start mean? A new relationship, a new place that you're moving to, a new connection with someone. Let's see. A time for healing. Definitely so. This may be a time where you need to focus more on yourself and your internal healing as opposed to what's happening outside of you. Communication is key. Absolutely. This is definitely going to have to be a time of communication. If people are going to move ahead and be able to work together, the first step is communication. 2222 on the timer. Twin flame connections, communicating with people, because we're definitely at this point in time going to need support. You're going to need people to help you get through whatever you're going to be dealing with in the immediate future. Communicate with people. Be diplomatic. It may have to do with communicating with people that you're not even very fond of, but that goes back to commonality and being able, despite what's happening in the world, to be able to still find something in common with your fellow human being to move forward so that we can at least find some type of growth and movement going forward in the future. The thing that I also gauged while the short period of time while I was watching the news, because I don't like to watch the news. I don't watch TV very much at all, especially the news. Like, I am definitely not that person that is influenced by media. I don't even take it in. My opinion for politics comes from my life experience, 23-33. My life experience and what I live on a everyday, regular basis. My health care, because I have healthcare issues. I have neurological issues that affect the nerves in my arms and my legs. I sciatica. I have had a cervical spinal surgery and I have a titanium plate in my throat. I will have nerve damage for the rest of my life that affects my hands and my movements and give my hands involuntary twitching, and they do it all the time. Like right now around my elbows, if they itch, they feel like my elbows have been attacked by mosquitoes. People don't know this about me because my medical ailments are internal. I'm not walking around with a wound. I have a limp every once in a while from what happened with my knee, but I will be affected by this for the rest of my life. I have been through the ringer as far as the healthcare system, especially being a woman of color. It's been hard for me in the medical like in healthcare. So that's a major issue for me. I am a woman. I mean, the fact that government feels the need to tell me what I can do with my own body, that's an issue for me. I'm a woman of color, and sometimes a population of people that have a problem with people of color, specifically the males of this population, have an entitlement factor over people like me. I deal with it every day, and it usually is the same type of man that walks around with this entitled behavior that feels like someone like me, that looks like me, is beneath them. They automatically walk around with an air of arrogance about themselves. I am automatically less than them because I am a person of color and I am a woman. That's my reality. I am an educator. I come from a background as a teacher, early childhood teacher, 20 plus years of living education and seeing education firsthand, childcare, seeing firsthand, seeing poverty in inner cities, parents that barely can afford to work because their paychecks are going to childcare. I see all this stuff. That's where my opinion comes from witnessing real life problems on the scale on a daily basis. So my decisions are not always made just for me. That would be convenient for me to be able to be a person that just sticks my head in the sand and only worries about me and how everything affects me, which that seems to be the consensus coming down to people being polled why they chose the things that they chose. It came down to money. That was the deciding factor of people choosing one between the other. And I get it. Yeah, the economy has definitely taken a hit since COVID. But if people honestly did the research to understand why, of course we took a hit. Of course we took a hit. The country was recovering from COVID. A lot of things had to be paid. I'm not going to get into politics. People don't. If they don't really tune in, it sounds like Peanuts characters to them. Me talking about it, just be like, wah, 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 wah. And I'm very much in a place in my life where I can only live by example, and if people choose to tune in, then great. If they don't, then whatever. Me wasting my breath trying to explain things to people is a thing of the past. It was the same thing for me during the whole BLM movement, with me being a woman of color. Constantly be put into the experience of trying to explain to people that don't live the everyday life what it's like to live the everyday life. Like, it's not my job to educate people on what it is to be black. If you didn't know it, I am half African American. I'm half Caucasian and I'm half African American. My 23andMe, and that's a whole nother story there. My 23andMe, I am so many things. I'm a little bit of everything. Like, seriously, I am a little bit of everything, but I am predominantly I'm predominantly Caucasian. If I remember correct, I'm like 51% Caucasian and 49% like African, like deep African. Got some I got a little bit of everything up in there. So I'm definitely a child of the world. But yeah, a person like me has a lot of factors into why they choose the things that they choose because of me individually and the things that I have to deal with on an everyday basis. So as this card pops up, it says, show the world the real you. Well, you guys just got a big dose of the real me. And if you're still here and you listen to my story, I appreciate you. I do. 2929, show the world the real you. Your story may resonate with someone that needs a soul tribe person. So, I mean, I could use more people on my soul tribe. I'm always open to having true, genuine people be in my life. But I will say I keep my circle very small. That's one thing I have learned through life experiences. I'd rather have a couple of true blue relationships than a bunch of acquaintances I can't trust, you know? So that's where soul tribe and all of that's going to come from at this time. You're really going to need those people that you can rely on moving forward into the future. Believe in the impossible. Absolutely. Because things right now might seem like that it might not be the best moving into the future, but you still got to believe in the impossible. Believe that things are going to work out for you and your situation. The conclusions are within reach. The answers you need are coming. So that's a double dose of whatever you're seeking, whatever knowledge you need, whatever opportunities, whatever people you need in your life is within reach. It's coming. Don't let your pride get in the way. So for sure, definitely, these egos that are going to be out and about and finding commonality with people, you're definitely going to have to figure out how to remove that ego, how to remove that pride in order to be able to find commonality with other people and come together so that the future it has some type of hope. 3111 on the timer. Don't let your past hold you back. So your childhood trauma, the things that may be triggering your reactions right now, the things you need to heal from, don't let that hold you back. It's still very much a time of change. It's still very much a time of introspection for moving forward with what you want in your life. I'm going to go ahead and try to get one more. Well, that's a lot, so maybe I'm not going to get try another one because that was okay. Apparently they just want to get a lot out of this deck. So you and your loved ones are safe. So even when things, you know, whatever's happening in the future, whatever you think may happen, you're protected. You have protection. So you remember that was the first card. You have protection. You and your loved ones are safe. Balance spirituality and practicality. So at this time, you may have to just rely on your spirituality to get you through this. I know for me, my spirituality is going to be very heavily, like I'm going to be in it. I'm definitely going to have to be in it to get through this next phase of life. Hold your vision. Hold on to your vision and what you want. Focus on that. Adjustments are going to be required. Absolutely. Adjustments to your life, to your past, moving forward. You're going to have to adjust to all of this stuff that's happening as the cats fight again. You're going to have to adjust. 33. You're going to have to adjust to the things that are happening, are going to be happening. Be bold and make the first move. Be bold and make the first move in the direction that you want to go in your life. It may be necessary for you to take action moving forward. 33 on the timer. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and pull a Soul Truth card to give us some homework. My cats, like, they normally don't act like this, especially when I'm doing readings. Every once in a while they fight each other, but actually let me pull a couple of these Starseed cards instead. I don't know, for some reason I'm not feeling the whole Soul Truth thing right now at the moment. I feel like there's enough going on. I don't need to give us homework tonight like we're in school, you know. If that's something that you guys are into or have liked that I've been doing, let me know and I will continue to do that. But right now it just doesn't feel like something that I need to, as I was literally going to say that, prioritize. So maybe that will be the one. I was going to be like that 34 on the timer. I was going to be like, I don't really feel like that's something that I need to prioritize for us in the reading. And then I looked over and that literally was the card laying right there. So the Great Severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So like I said, with everything going on right now, there may indeed be some anger and some conflict, and a great divide, a great severing. It's still very divided over here. It's still like a 50-50, regardless of who wins this election. And like I already said, I'm calling it already. Trump won. And this country is still in a very 50-50. We are extremely severed and divided. And it's not going to change overnight just because somebody won. That just flipped over. Deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. So we're going to have to find a level of love, deep love for each other to get through this, so we're not fighting each other. Because I'm telling you, that's what the energy is probably going to be for a little while. It's going to be very volatile. People's emotions are going to be extremely heightened. And I mean, I can tell you, because I do know a lot of liberal people. They're very much in their feelings. They're very much in their feelings. So their feelings are going to be very heightened right now with everything that's going on. The other side is going to be very boastful and very taunty and very, ha ha ha, look, we won. I can tell you that because I know I've been observing their behavior this entire time. Even throughout this last 4 years, it's still very much been that kind of behavior. So now that they got what they want, what do you think that they're going to do? So that's where it's like, you're going to have to find a deep love for people, even though you might not agree with them, even though their behavior and how they're being around you isn't the best. You're still going to have to find a level of love to get through this. All right, I'll take these 3 and then read that card. Lifting the veil, question everything. Anything unaligned must go. So yeah, for your own personal journey, question it all. If it does not serve purpose for you, it's got to go. Learn how to be human in the world, but not of it. So that's what I'm saying. You're going to have to, especially at this time, if you identify as a starseed or a chosen one, anointed one, you're going to have to, at this point in time, be among the world, but not of it. Like I said, the exterior factors are going through a cycle. You're going to have to live in a world that has chosen to cycle through behavior again. You're going to have to be of that world, but not of it. Live in that reality, but live in your own at the same time. Focused on yourself, focused on what you need, what you want. And in doing so, life lessons, soul growth, study higher learning. You in Earth School. No kidding. Definitely in the Earth School. Learning lessons right now. Your soul is growing. You're in a state of studying. So in order to get to the next phase, sometimes it's like going through school. You got to go through different grade levels to get up to the final stage of graduation. Like, apparently we are not at the stage of graduation quite yet, so we are in the school, Earth School, still learning. So the homework for today is I am focused on what I want most. One reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power, and most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. That was a quote from Tony Robbins. Today's soul action is, what you focus on grows. Today, ask yourself, is my life a reflection of my values, or do I need to make adjustments and prioritize things? So focus on yourself. Focus on what you want. I'll read it again. The homework is to focus on your growth and to ask yourself, is your life a reflection of your personal values, or do you need to make adjustments? Not what everyone else's values are. Because I can tell you what, the values of the population that just chose our new president or our repeating president, I don't particularly agree with a lot of it. So I'm going to have to create my reality with my values within my soul tribe of people, focusing on my little bubble and my little world that is of this world, but not of this world. So hopefully that helped you guys out a little bit. We're almost, lately my readings have been around 40 minutes and I have really enjoyed that. So I will keep it around that time with a number right out the gate. Wonderful. 9. Get to work. Get to work. I'm compassionate, and that's definitely what we're going to need moving forward is compassion. It's your compassion that makes you shine. You are devoted to helping the greater good and have a strong talent for speaking up for others. Your soul is most satisfied when you are being of service. So even if this is moving forward, still be a person that leads with love. Be a person that has compassion for people. If you see injustice, stand up for it. Stand up for it. I am wise. 15. Your love for others is powerful, and you are able to spread your gift of support far and wide. Your curious and social nature brings you in contact with a variety of people, all who would benefit from your warm, heartfelt words of wisdom. I'm wise. So, like I said, there may be people in your immediate surroundings or that you're going to come across in the very near future that may need some help and some guidance and some support. Last number, I happen to see it on the bottom, and that's it. 1111. Great to close out with. The universe is arranging people and experiences on your path to help you succeed and helping you wake up to who you truly are. I'm awakening. And as always, I hope you guys are. This is the 5th. Well, technically, it's the 6th day because it's after midnight now. This is the 6th day of the 1111 portal, 4141. The outside world is repeating a cycle. If you want to repeat that cycle with the outside world and that's your jam, then congratulations. Your reality for the next 4 years, the outside world is going to be there with you. If you are a person that, is going to need to adjust to the outside world, deciding to go through a cycle again, then this is where you're going to have to rely on your soul tribe. This is where you're going to have to find your little bubble to exist within yourself, within your circle of friends, protecting yourself away from the outside world that chose to go through the cycle. Just because they chose to go through it doesn't mean you have to. So figure out what's going to make you happy. Use this time, these years, to work on yourself. Maybe in 4 years from now, the world will be a completely different way and things will be shifting a completely different direction. That's where we all have to do the collective conscious work to make that happen. So instead of being bitter about the situation, being angry about the situation, use this time as deep self-reflection to figure out why the world is still stuck and wanting to repeat the cycle. Help others out of the darkness. The more you help other people awaken, because you are awakened, you're awakened. So this may be the time period where you need to help other people wake up too. So I hope you guys got something from that, something resonated. As always, try your best to find something to make yourself happy. I think today I'm definitely going to have to focus and find the things that make me happy. I'll maybe get some sleep now because I haven't been sleeping that much. Like I said, I woke up out of a dead sleep for this to do this. But that's the message for you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day. Until next time, I say I love you.